My whole point is मेरा क्या जाता है. It's okay. You want to have fun, but I don't want to be dragged into it. My first exposure to social media was with Orkut, 2007, I think.
Before joining Orkut, Prashant Chellapalli carried out a nice in-depth research about who are the cool people on the platform and what makes them cool. And then he moved to Facebook.
Then I moved to Facebook. I was straddling between Orkut and Facebook, and I saw what was happening there. And I realized that this is where real conversations were happening. People were sort of letting their guard down. This was not sort of planned research, you know, in-depth DIs or group discussions. People were being their natural self.
And that's exactly when his interest in digital came from, and also that was one of the reasons why he moved out of the mainline agency business and started Jack in the Box Worldwide in 2009.
So I had done a course in programming when I was doing my graduation, and I sort of was used to computers, loved coding and sitting for hours and doing it. And so I stumbled upon years later Orkut, experimented with it. I was very active on it. Saw how people were being their real selves and sharing their interests, their hobbies. Obviously, then Facebook came in. So both these platforms made. I was in mainline advertising at that point of time, and I realized that this is where real conversations were happening. People were actually opening up. They were talking freely. So-called nerds in real world were actually becoming cool because they suddenly had all these hobbies people didn't know about. They were the guys who were discovering what is happening in the world, whether it's gadgets or technology or um, jokes or whatever. And I realized that if you don't understand these platforms, you will never really be able to build brands in the coming years. And that's what also sort of inspired me to, in 2009, start Jack in the Box worldwide.
His initial journey on social media as a user and then as a practitioner was full of wonder, learnings, and also failing sometimes.
I decided that I would sort of make my life an open book on social media to see what would happen. What is the content I would be seeing? What will I learn? So, whether it was posting on brand pages that I used to handle back then, or sort of replying to user comments, having fun with that, learning. And for me, in the internet and technology has always been the best part was always the fact that it was interactive.
Further, Challapalli talks about how social media has transitioned to a whole new gamut and how and why he thinks the whole essence of interactivity has somewhere lost its ground.
In those early days, there was a lot of great experiments which were done with interactive websites and apps, and I somehow feel that over a period of time, from being an experimentative medium, the whole internet and social media, when e-commerce kicked in, um, it became more about business. It became far more serious. I don't think people are really digital agencies or clients are really sort of innovating or experimenting with social media that much. It's become a very safe thing. I mean, you can predict the content playbook for most brands today. There'll be topical stuff, which will be GIFs, and there'll be lots of digital videos. But I'm not seeing interactivity. I think to me, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, has become sort of an online equivalent of a television channel. Yeah, we could call it a crowdsourced television channel, but it's become more about passive consumption than interactivity.
What does he think about social media being a force for good as well as a force for evil, and the technology nuances that have triggered the massive changes in the social domain?
When I started on social media with Jack in the Box Worldwide, we thought it would be a force for good, and we genuinely have conversations with people, get to learn a lot more about what makes consumers tick, all of that. But I realized technology is not good or bad. It's the people who use it. We've seen what's happened with Twitter. It's been both positive and negative. Same thing with social media. Massive changes. It's become a force for good as well as a force for evil. But it's also become, I think, one of the biggest users of social media today is it's become a force for business. You can't ignore it anymore.
One of the interesting things that he decided for himself as a ground rule was he will never insult people on social media and unnecessarily criticize brands.
My personal tone has been either humor or mild sarcasm. For me, I like sharing happy, positive things on social media because I think there's enough crap floating around. I don't need to contribute more to it. Just because I have a Twitter handle doesn't mean I have to have a point of view on everything that's happening in the world. Um, I know a few things, I don't know a lot of things, so I stick to what I know. And wherever sort of, if a friend reaches out or, for help or saying, get me a job, or a client of mine says we're hiring, can you, sort of post on LinkedIn and all of that, I do that. But if you look at it, you won't find 10 tweets every day, or an Instagram post every day, or a Facebook post every day from on my handles. I do it when I feel like doing it. I would say that I'm fairly active. I probably consume more than I post. Uh, my style is just be yourself. Just. I don't think there's a difference in the way I'm in real life and the way I'm on social media.
While he prefers to stay away from watching television, Challapalli has been quite active on social media, spending somewhere around 6 hours on the platforms that he uses.
Well, this is a really embarrassing statistic. I've been tracking my the amount of time I spend on social media. I think about 6 hours every day. I don't watch too much television. I mean, I haven't had a satellite TV now for 6 years. So it's mostly Netflix and Amazon Prime and a couple of other OTT platforms. But most of the time, because I'm on phone calls or whatever, the phone is there and you're opening one app or the other. And I watch a lot of Facebook and YouTube videos on travel and interior design and armed forces and stuff like that, and entertainment. So about 6 to 7 hours a day, which I'm not too proud of, but hey, that's reality for you.
Being a travel buff, the creative expert consumes more of travel content while being online on Facebook and YouTube, while also straddling through another topic of interest.
Lots of entertainment, lots of articles about business, increasingly US politics, um, a lot of things about history, which is one of my favorite subjects, travel again, which is my probably my biggest passion in life, interior design, which personally I like. I'm involved with it, and I design my own furniture and I do my own interior design. So essentially, a lot of things which I'm personally passionate about. Maybe a smaller percentage of things which I'm involved in from a business or a work perspective now that I'm running Gravity Integrated. But I would say 70% of the content I consume is personal entertainment, personal passion, and all that, and 30% would be about work, or about the business. And how do I engage followers? I don't think I have followers. Most of the people who follow me on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter are either friends or acquaintances or people from the business community. LinkedIn, I have a slightly larger presence. That's also because of the roles I've held. I don't think there are I don't look at them as followers. I look at them more as audience, sometimes critiques, sometimes supporters. I just share what I feel I am interested in, and for me, I don't really look at posting stuff to get followers or what will make my social media presence larger. For me, it's all about this is me, this is what I like, this is my worldview, this is how I look at things. So whether it's a personal opinion or a point of view or content that I'm consuming, I just share what I feel like sharing.
But being on social media also comes with a share of trolling and negative remarks and a lot of judgment.
There is a lot which is genuinely upsetting when you look at Twitter or Facebook, or if you're on whatever website or whatever. There are a lot of crap that's happening around the world, or people who are stupid and they say stupid things. Not maybe to me personally on my face. I think I've been trolled twice in my life. In the beginning in 2009 when I started Jack in the Box, and some 2 3 boys were sort of on Twitter were trying to sort of troll me. I didn't react to it. And I think I got trolled once on LinkedIn for sharing something which was very sort of a personal point of view on how people just randomly message you and saying, "Sir, give me a job," or "Hey, can you help me a job?" There is no context, there is no resume, there is no conversation. Uh, I don't react. I do not think that uh, you need to get outraged. I get outraged about it in my personal life. I sort of then take a deep breath and count to 10 and I ask myself, is it really worth um, commenting on something when you probably don't have a credible point of view, or you are maybe not qualified to comment on it? Yeah, you can feel emotional, but I've sort of my ground rule on social media is don't post something when you are emotional about it. Give it some time. If you still feel strongly about it, then say something. I'm generally a very optimistic, happy person. So I don't put, even if I'm going through some problems or if I'm having a bad day, I don't tweet about it. I don't post about it online. I usually post very little about my personal life or what's happening in my head. So I believe that when you share content which is informative or entertaining or happy, you usually get people who sort of respond to that kind of stuff. So I don't troll people, I don't share negative stuff. So I actually haven't faced too much of a problem with trolling. As I said, I've been probably trolled twice. Um, Somebody was having fun and I was like, okay, fine. My whole point is mera kya jata hai. It's okay. You want to have fun, but I don't want to be dragged into it. Probably Instagram. Ban is a very strong word. I think I would like to have a lot. I would like to see a lot more self censorship from both Twitter and Facebook. Be real. Whether you're a person or a brand, be real. Don't fake it. You'll get called out. I really like what Karthik Beast of Trial puts out. Very thought through, very insightful, well researched, solid point of view, consistent tonality. I like reading the content that he shares and I find it very informative. The other person I really appreciate the content, and I don't read it as often as I should, is Bhat Naturally on Twitter. He's got, I think, a great blog. Yeah, these two people I really they connect. I mean, same industry, and I think very insightful stuff that I can personally learn from. A brand I absolutely love is Dunzo. I think I keep sharing what they do with my team. I retweet their posts or tweets. Absolutely love how the brand is nailing social media, and great credit to them. Then it's an in-house team which is doing it. I think awesome consistency, and fantastic content.